Rob Stone, 2 damn phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
Welcome to B-MoneyTrading, back at you again with another quick update with where I ended today. And so as you can see, I ended a little under 2% at 1.95% for the day total. It ends up being a little over $32. Doesn't seem like a whole lot, but over the course of a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, month and a half, 2 months, which I don't expect I'll be hitting 2% every day, but can just consistently growing and having green days, even regardless of how big or small they may be, and trying to keep the red days to a minimum. Anyhow, so with that said, you can see here on the 1 week that it's continued to grow. I posted yesterday my 1 week, which was based on from Monday to Monday, and it ended up being like a little over 8%. Today it's doing it based off of today to a week from today, and so that's a little over 6.5%, which is just good growth to keep going, even though it's a small account. You know, it's a matter of being realistic and you know, having these realistic goals of growing it. You know, I made a video a few days ago saying that like one of my goals was by this Friday to have it up to $2,000, and it's very likely to happen. Keep in mind though, I am going to add money into my account from when I get paid on Friday, so that may be anywhere from $100 to $200. So we'll see what happens. I may get close to hitting the $2,000, or I may not hit it, or I may go a little bit over it. And either way, we're just looking for realistic goals and realistic returns, and we're trying to keep the risk to a very low minimum. We're looking for low risk. You know, we're focusing on not losing money. We're looking for good quality stocks that have been undervalued, that I can buy now for a good price, that in the near future are going to be worth more than what I paid for them now. And it's just that simple. It's just, for a new trader, the emotions and everything make it difficult. The FOMO, the fear of missing out is what FOMO stands for, as well as the impatience that goes along with it. You know, a lot of it is just and I've talked about it many times. If you look at what I'm holding right now, all these stocks make up a small portion of my account, so not any one of them can just totally take and knock my account out. Now it may bring it down a little bit or whatever, but it wouldn't take much to rebound from it, you know. And so, you know, I think the biggest ones that are making up my account are IBM. We'll see, that is making up about 14.5%, so 14.5% of my account. I try and keep it close to 10. I think TQQ might be one of the biggest ones, or it'll be like Apple. TQQ, yeah, 24, so almost 25% of my account is wrapped up in TQQ. You can see I'm only up a little bit. It's performing somewhat how I expected it to, and I believe that it's still going to continue to make its push up. It's at a price point that is a very defining one that a lot of people are looking at. If we look at it real quick, where are you at? There we go. If you look at it real quick, you can see that I have this this important, I guess you could call it resistance right now. In the past it's been support, and it's acted as resistance. And so this is a key level, and this is the 4-hour 180-day chart. And so you can see this is a key price point of what a lot of traders are looking at. They're looking, people that are shorting stocks are looking to short it around this price point, and people that are looking to buy are trying to wait and see if it's going to break it or not. So some are either going to sell, or it's, it may be a short squeeze. We'll see what happens. We see he was able to break above it, and I was actually in the stock when it did break above this price point. And if we pull up, my average was 52.37 per share. I have 8 shares, so we're at 52.67, and I was actually in it whenever it hit this 55.76 area. And then you can tell I'd had this drawn, and you can tell that's a resistance level, and it hit it, came close to it, and then had a pullback, which is understandable. And now we're waiting to see what's gonna happen. Elections is over after tonight, and so I believe we'll start to see it become more bullish and start pulling up. This is gonna be one of the longer term trades that I have on, because I see there's potential to get it up here to the $65 to $70 area before I sell. Maybe even continue just to hold on if it keeps giving me good returns, and add on to the position as it continues to go up. The only reason why I've waited to add anything else onto it is because it's already making up almost a quarter of my portfolio, and I don't want it making up too much more of my portfolio, because I'm trying to keep my exposure and risk to a reasonable level. And as confident as I am about this trade, I still can't, go, put half of my portfolio into it, and then if it tanks, then that's going to be a pretty big hit for me to take. So with that said, we see that there's almost a quarter of my portfolio into that one trade. See if there's another one that makes up a good portion. Thinking Apple might make up a decent portion, or maybe even CGC. See, this is a little over 10%, not bad. It's just because it's only one share, but the stock's so expensive that's what's it's based on, is how much money, not how many shares I have. So for any new traders out there, if you're wondering. And this is the other one I was thinking, CGC. See how much it makes. About 12.5%. 12.5%. Not too bad. I'm down in this one, but it is showing a bullish trend, as you can see on the 1 week. So, and I see a lot of potential. This might be a little bit longer term trade, so we'll see how that plays out. Like I said, I believe TQQ is going to be the one that I have the most in. This one, I was up on it earlier today. I'm not too concerned about it. It's under 10% of my portfolio. Yeah, I have 22 shares, but it's under 10%, and it's $165 that I have wrapped up in it, and it looks like it has the ability to give me some good returns. It may be a little bit volatile stock, probably one of the most, I'd say, up there as far as volatile stocks that I'm holding. But we'll see how that plays out. I need to get to bed though. I gotta get up early, super early, and then when I get done taking care of my errands in the morning, then hopefully I get home in time to make a video and give another update as far as where my account is, and whether I'm looking to sell any of these positions or just continue to hold. And if you continue to follow me, you'll start to see that a lot of the things that I try to I guess would be the right word, coordinate, or kind of mix within my trading, is a lot of the principles that Jesse Livermore had. I try to incorporate them into the style of trading that I do. And some people say, well, that's just a buy and hold technique that you're doing. And technically trading, that's all you're doing, unless you're short selling, which it's still the same concept. You're buying and holding, no matter of how long will define whether you're a day trader or a swing trader or an investor or whatnot. But basically, it's as simple as I'm looking for stocks, good quality stocks, that I believe are good quality stocks that have been undervalued, and buying them at a good price now for a deal. Basically, like as if you were to go shopping and they have something on sale, and you know that's a good deal because normally it goes for a lot more than that. And you know, it'll probably be, if I don't buy it now, then I'll wait next week or whatever, then I'm probably not gonna be able to get it as cheap as I can get it for right now. And that's basically all we're doing right here with trading. I mean, it's that simple. Now it gets more complex as you learn the differences, but that's just to keep it as a simple concept. You know, as you start learning about different strategies, rules, patterns, and techniques, and whatever you decide your style is going to be, and it's something that you kind of find over the course of time. People can help you to find what style of trading works for you, but as far as me sitting here and showing you like this is what I'm doing, this is how I trade, like eventually one day you're gonna have to learn how to ride the bike without training wheels. And so I'm a big fan of watching traders on YouTube and seeing like what they're looking at, what they're doing, and kind of getting an idea of maybe some of the things they do good, and as well as some of the things that they do wrong, some mistakes that they make, and that you can learn from, so that you don't make them. Let them lose the money so that you can make money. And so with that said, one of the things is like so I'm up in a majority of the trades that I'm in right now, and if I was new, then I would be eager to hurry up and sell, and I even thought about like selling this one today. I talked about it in yesterday's video, but I decided I was going to go ahead and let it keep working for me, even though it fluctuates, and I've been down probably up and down in this trade more than any other trade, that I still see a lot of potential for it. And I remind myself of why I got in the trade in the first place. And so basically just sticking to my game plan. And so you can see, we'll take a quick look at it, and I'm going to shut this down. So I'm up almost 2% in it, $1.42. I have $73.20 wrapped up in it. If I was to sell now, I could get $74.62. Not a whole lot. It's making up under 5% of my portfolio, which is really low. So in all honesty, I can't be expected to be making like 10, 20, 30 bucks on this trade. I mean, if I do, it's because I held it for a good while. I mean, it's not to say it doesn't have and we see it's in becoming a bullish pattern for at least the past week. Now the charts on Robinhood are not that great. If I recommend using the Thinkorswim platform, and let's see what that was. DHD. Pull this out. I already forgot. I'm so tired. I think it was DHN. I don't think it was. I just like repeated it. WHD. What the hell? Yeah, I gotta get some sleep. So we can see that it's starting back this an uptrend, making its way back up. And when I bought in on this, I think my entry was horrible on it. My average cost was $36.60, and so it's about as close as I can be able to get it. So that's $36.60. So obviously this was not a good entry. I believe the whole reason why I got in at this point is you can see that there is some support, and it looked like it was hitting it, and I thought it was going to hit it and continue to come back up, and instead it sold off. And because I took such small share size, I was able to hold on to it as it continued to drop down, as we can see. And then now it's coming back up, and you know, I can sell, take what little bit of money I have on it and invest it in something else, or I can continue to hold. I think I'm going to continue to hold though, and see if it can get back up here close to the $40 area, and then we will go from there and probably invest it in something else. But as you can see, timing is important when entering. And see, you can see also that area that it was resistance at a recent point in time, and now we've been able to break above it. So I'm expecting it to probably have a pullback to it, to test it as support, and if it's able to hold, then we'll see it continue to go up, and that's when I would probably look to go ahead and just sell it and just make a few bucks off of it. And you know, it's not a bad deal. I mean, I had a little bit of money, $73 in it, you know, 73.20, held it for a few days. I mean, that money, if I was to put it in checking or savings, you know, I wouldn't have made $5 off of it, you know, it just sitting there within that short period of time, you know, just a week or so. So it's not a bad deal. I mean, people think that getting into trading, you're gonna get rich quick, and that's why a lot of people get into day trading, because they think they're gonna get rich quick. And the likelihood of that happening is slim. Not to say it's not impossible, but there are only a select few that have a naturally gifted talent that they can get into day trading and be successful at it within, you know, 18 months. You know, and a lot of times people don't even make it that far. By the time they take so many losses, they just are, it's just destroyed their psychological ability to trade and make good decisions, as well as their emotional. You know, I've been through the ringer quite a bit and learned quite a bit along the way. By no master at trading, but I have learned a lot about myself and the psychology behind it, and the patience, and what it's going to take, and how, you know, to continue to grow a small account to where you know, ultimately the goal is get this up to 25,000. You know, I'll make 2%, you know, on a $25,000 account in one day. That's $500. I believe around 10% is be about let's say like 1,200. It might be like 1,250. Somewhere around there. You know, 10% on a $2,500 or $25,000 account. And so ultimately the goal is just to continue to grow it to where if I can make 1% or 2%, you know, you can see now that about 2% is around $32. And so, you know, I get it up to $2,000 and 2%. We'll do a quick thing and then we'll shut down. I know I said that a minute ago. Sometimes I get carried away. Okay, so that'd be $40. You know, if I had this account at $2,000 and made 2%, then that'd be $40. Let's say I had it 5,000 This count was 5,000. I made 2%. That'd be $100. And as you can see, the past past week or so, I've been able to kind of withhold a close to 2% average per day. And so we're talking 100 each of those days. I mean, that starts adding up. Even right now at around $30 to $40, even $20 per day, it starts adding up. As you can see for the past week. Obviously, that was a little over $20 average each day. If this is over the past week, which is not bad, it starts adding up, as you can see. And so I'll continue to compound. So when I get paid, I'll add anywhere from $100 to $200, and continue to invest in good quality stocks that I believe are undervalued, that I can get a good deal for it at this moment in time. And I know that there's a very likelihood, high probability chance that it's going to be worth more than what I bought it for, today. So ultimately, that's the simplicity of it, is just trying to keep it simple for any of the new traders out there, because we're just looking for good deals. And so ultimately, we focus on risk management before anything else. Before we get in a trade, is it worth the risk? What's the likelihood, the probability, and at what point am I gonna take a loss on it? If it goes against me, what is my game plan? What is my trading plan with this trade? And each trade I get into, there'll be a lot of similarities between them all, but some will have a different plan behind it, depending on if it's a long hold, or if it's just a quick make some money opportunity, very likelihood, and it's going to be low risk, and it's not going to take up a whole lot of my portfolio. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good night, and see you in the morning.